Genesis chapter 50 verse 3 says, "The embalming process took the usual 40 days." 40 full days. Today, when someone is embalmed for a funeral viewing, the whole procedure usually takes 2 to 6 hours. So why did the ancient Egyptians need 40 days to embalm Jacob? What exactly were they doing during that time? And how has modern science made the process so much faster and different? Today, we're going deep into one of the most fascinating intersections of the Bible, ancient history and modern chemistry. Stick around. You're going to see just how advanced Egyptian embalming really was, and why it still matters. When Joseph asked Pharaoh to let him bury his father Jacob in Canaan, he first had to follow Egyptian protocol. The text says the embalming took the usual 40 days, and then the Egyptians mourned for another 30 days, making a total of 70 days of mourning. Genesis chapter 50 verse 3 to 4. That 70-day total matches what the Greek historian Herodotus wrote about Egyptian mummification around 440 BC, roughly 2,500 years after Joseph. But what actually happened during those 40 days? The body is washed with Nile water and palm wine. A small cut is made on the left side. The lungs, stomach, intestines, and liver are removed. The heart is left inside because it would be weighed against the feather of Maat in the afterlife judgment. The brain is pulled out through the nose with a bronze hook. Egyptians considered the brain unimportant. The body cavity and the whole corpse are packed and completely covered in natron, a naturally occurring mixture of sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, sodium chloride, and sodium sulfate. They mined it from dry lake beds in the Wadi Natron desert, hence the name. Natron is extremely hygroscopic. It pulls every bit of water out of the tissues. It also creates a high pH environment that kills bacteria and prevents rotting. The body stays buried in natron for approximately 40 days. That is not arbitrary. Modern experiments show that in Egypt's hot, dry climate, 35 to 40 days is exactly how long it takes for a human body to lose approximately 75% of its water content and become leathery and completely dry. Any shorter and decay would continue. Any longer is unnecessary. After the 40 days, days 41 to 70, the natron is removed. The body is washed again. The cavities are stuffed with linen packets soaked in myrrh, cassia, resin, and sawdust to restore the natural shape. The skin is rubbed with oils and ointments. Then the real art begins. Hundreds of yards of linen bandages, amulets, and resin glue to create the classic mummy. Priests perform the opening of the mouth ceremony. Only then, after roughly 70 days, is the body ready for burial. Now compare that to today. In the United States and many other countries, arterial embalming takes 2 to 6 hours, not 40 days. Here's what happens. Blood is drained from a large artery, usually carotid or femoral. A preservative fluid containing formaldehyde or glutaraldehyde, methanol, dyes, anticoagulants, and water is injected into the artery under pressure. The solution fixes proteins, kills bacteria, and temporarily halts decomposition. Cavity fluid is aspirated from the torso and replaced with stronger disinfectant. The body is sutured, posed, made up, and refrigerated. Key scientific improvements. Vascular injection, perfected in the 19th to 20th century, distributes preservative through the entire blood system, much faster than external packing. Formaldehyde, commercialized after 1900, cross-links proteins almost instantly and is far more effective at fixing tissue than natron ever was. Refrigeration, standard since the mid-20th century, slows bacterial growth dramatically, so the body only needs to look good for a few days. Restorative art and cosmetics allow open casket funerals to look peaceful and lifelike, something ancient Egyptians achieved only after weeks of careful wrapping. Ancient goal equals permanent preservation for the afterlife. Modern goal equals temporary preservation for viewing plus public health, disinfection. That's why today's process is measured in hours instead of weeks. So when Genesis 53 says Jacob was embalmed for 40 days, it is giving us a historically precise detail. The inspired writer knew exactly how long the critical dehydration phase took in Egypt, and he recorded it accurately. Science has advanced tremendously, but the longing for dignity in death remains the same. What do you think? Does knowing the 40-day process change how you read this verse? Drop your thoughts in the comments.